This is hands down the best guitar ever made. Hey everybody, Jayce Allan here. Welcome back to the channel. You see it all the time in the comments, in videos, on forums, and Reddit, people asking what is the best guitar. People like myself spend countless hours reviewing guitars and doing A/B tests and blind tests and shootouts, and we pit expensive guitars against budget guitars, all in an effort to find the best guitar. Well, my friends, I've done it. I've cracked the code. I have solved the mystery. I have figured out what the absolute best guitar is. Are you ready? It's this one, the Squier Classic Vibe Telecaster. No, wait, I'm wrong. Hold on. It's this one, the Donner Stratocaster. Wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. Hold on. It's definitely this one, the Epiphone SG inspired by Gibson. No, wait a minute. Maybe it's not even an electric guitar at all. One second. It's definitely this one, the Journey Instruments Dreadnought Acoustic. No, maybe not. I'm not sure. Hold on. Okay, so I'm purposely being dramatic, but my point is, there is no best when it comes to guitars. There is only what is right for you as an individual. I see comments all the time ranging from cheap guitars suck to Firefly guitars are better than Fender, or Fender's quality sucks, or Gibson has gone downhill, to PRS are the best ever made, to Gibson is the best Les Paul ever made. And you know what? We're all right and we're all wrong at the same time. It's like Schrodinger's guitar or something. Two things can be true about guitar at the same time. Dylan Talks Tone recently did a review on a Harley Benton Les Paul, and he ended up cutting it into a few pieces to test the wood moisture content. He claimed the guitar was unplayable or nearly so, and people in his comments were pretty upset that he didn't just give it away. I think really the only thing he proved was that he had a bad experience with that guitar brand. I've owned a few Harley Bentons and they were great. They were well made, they sounded good. You can't really get them here in the US anymore. You'll face high tariffs and shipping costs, but fans of the brand swear by them. I've owned close to a dozen Firefly brand guitars, and most of them have been fantastic. In fact, this one here is about 2 or 3 years old, and it's great. I've played USA-made Fender Strats, and I think this is every bit as good as those. Yet people will tell me what an idiot I am in the comments of my videos where I say this guitar is just as good as Fender. But then, after Fender tarnished their reputation here recently, people came out of the woodwork to say how poor Fender's quality is. I've heard people say that Gibson Les Pauls are the best, but then also say you need to play a bunch of them in order to find a good one. Much of what we do here in the guitar community is stroke our own egos. We tend to sort of identify with our stuff. If we're into guitars, then obviously we're the best at making decisions and we have the best judgment because, you know, we're awesome. So obviously whatever guitar we buy or brand we're loyal to is the best. Because if it isn't the best, that's somehow a reflection on us as a person. But then there are some of us, and I consider myself in this group, where we simply look at the guitar as a tool for making music. Sure, they're cool to look at. Sure, some of the brands have this long history, and of course some people believe in the magic or the mojo of the guitar. But many of us just don't get caught up in all that. To some of us, a guitar should first function. It should be functional, usable, and comfortable to play. We'd like it to be durable and last, and we'd like it to be affordable. Then there are guys that look at the guitar as a status symbol. They may not even know how to play it very well, but they want name brands like Fender, Gibson, PRS. They want top-of-the-line models, fancy wood, premium pickups, the whole works. To them, the guitar is more about being a work of art or part of a legacy of the brand. And you know what? None of those people are wrong. If you like it and it sounds good to you, if it fits your budget and brings you joy, then that is the best. We can all argue for hours and hours about specs and woods and features and hardware and pickups and tone, but we're all arguing about something that in many cases can't even be quantified. It'd be like two people talking on the phone in different parts of the country arguing about the current weather. They simply aren't experiencing it the same. We all argue about tone. Where does tone come from? Is it the picks, the pickups, the wood? Is it in the hands? The amp, the speaker, well, it might be all of those things. Yesterday I saw a video from Rob Chapman where he brought in a few different professional guitar players and he blindfolded them and he had them play a few different guitars. Budget guitar that was around $300 or so, then I think there was one in the $700 range, and then I think the final one was around $3,000 or something like that. All the players could feel the difference right away between the cheaper guitars and the more expensive guitars. Some varied in their price estimations quite a bit, but every single one of the players, regardless of the cost of the guitar, sounded, well, like a professional guitar player. I keep repeating this over and over in my videos, that you will sound like you regardless of what guitar you are playing. Regardless of the cost, the woods used, the amp, the pickups. If I pick up a $6,000 guitar and play it, I won't sound any better or worse than if I pick up a $300 guitar. Sure, some guitars are easier to play than others. Some sound better in terms of tone, but a lot of that can be solved through amps and pedals and EQ and on and on. But the one thing that doesn't change is how I play, my unique sound. This is why I tend to push budget guitars. For the longest time, I believed that I was never going to improve as a guitar player or sound professional unless I bought a professional level guitar. So I did. I got a Taylor and later a Martin D28. I've owned a few, in fact. I just bought one used for a side-by-side demonstration. I have also owned PRS and USA-made Fenders and USA-made G&L and Gibson and on and on. And the one thing I have come to realize is that there is a spectrum for guitars. Go too cheap and you run into issues with quality, components that don't last, tuners that won't hold tune, bodies that are almost too lightweight. Sometimes they're usable guitars, sometimes they have issues so bad that they aren't playable at all. And then you have all the guitars kind of in the middle, affordable on up to kind of expensive or expensive depending on how you look at it. And they're all basically the same. They sound great, they feel good, they're made out of decent components. The cheaper brands are made from cheaper woods but still look and sound great. Then you get into the really expensive tier. And those guitars look amazing. They may even sound better than lower priced guitars, but the difference might be so slight that the cost doesn't really justify it. Should you spend $10,000 on a guitar? I mean, personally, I wouldn't, but if you have the means and that's what you're into, then have at it. I think the conflict comes when you have super snobby, expensive guitar guys that believe that just because they spent close to 10 grand on a guitar, that everyone should roll out the red carpet for them and kiss their ring. Like, great, buddy, you bought an expensive guitar, good for you. And they sort of look down their noses at everyone else. Then you have the cheap guitar guys that say that everyone spending more than $300 for a guitar is crazy and wasting their money. We all want to be validated in some way. These folks are on the same spectrum as the guitars themselves, but most of us don't care about all that. Brands, cost, loyalty. We just love guitars and we buy whatever appeals to us and is within our budget. We don't argue about it. We don't criticize people for buying whatever they want. But those people aren't the ones commenting on videos or arguing on Reddit because they don't need to seek validation from other people. There will always be people out there that swear up and down that their guitar is the best, that somehow, despite even evidence to the contrary, no other guitar even remotely comes close, and you will never convince them otherwise. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice, and sometimes you'll get bad apples in the bunch. Even the most expensive brands can have quality issues from time to time. But it's also true that some of the budget brands can outperform even most well-known USA brands. And to a large degree, if we believe our guitar is better than some other guitar, then it is better. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is Jayce Allan for Jayce Allan Guitar. We'll leave the amp on for you.